This is an inclusive and non-binary adaptation of the book When God Gave Us Words by Sandy Sasso. One day, the creative force decided to give words to humankind. But the spirits collective that always supported the creative force objected. They said, humankind will not know what to do with words. Words should only belong to our collective. But the creative force replied, perhaps humans will make something beautiful with the words. Nothing could be more wonderful than what we do with the words, the spirits collective insisted. Those humans will they'll just mess it up. But the creative force was intent on hearing words being spoken and shared by all humans. So they filled the spirits collective sacks with words and sent them to Earth to spread those words. Some sacks held long, difficult words like omniscient and anti-disestablishmentarianism. The spirits collective frowned. Humans will never understand the meanings of these words. And it was so. Because of the long, difficult words, dictionaries were created. In other sacks, the creative force put silly words like gibberish and goop and gosh. In another sack, the creative force placed all words that were hard to spell, like hors d'oeuvres. Humans will never know how to spell these words, noted the Spirits Collective. And it was so. Because of hard to spell words, the creative force created spelling lists. When the Spirits Collective returned from spreading all the words from their sacks, they sat around the creative force and listened. It took some time for humans to get accustomed to using words. Slowly, they let each word form in their mouths. Carefully, they added one word to another until they made sentences. When they got used to the words, they talked and talked and talked and talked and talked some more until the Spirits Collective shouted, "Enough!" But the creative force wanted to hear more. Then the humans twisted and turned words and made lies. They rolled words in the wet earth until they were covered with mud and created curses. The humans mixed words with sharp thorns, and gossip was born. The Spirits Collective shouted, "Stop! What a mess humans are making with our precious words!" The creative force was about to send the Spirits Collective back to Earth to take back all the words when they heard a new sound. Humans stirred soft music into words and sang lullabies. Words were mixed with dance and poetry was born. Humans joined laughter and words and told jokes. The Spirits Collective smiled and said to the creative force, some of these jokes are very funny and some are simply silly. And it was so. For the simply silly jokes, the creative force designed groans. And for the truly funny jokes, the creative force and the Spirits Collective just laughed. Humans mixed words with midnight and wrote mysteries. When the Spirits Collective listened to the mysteries, their lovely bodies trembled. Humans wove longing, thanksgiving, and hope into words and offered prayer. Imagination and words were joined together, and then there were stories. The Spirits Collective listened and were enchanted. The creative force asked the Spirits Collective, after all these new sounds that they had listened to, if they still wanted to gather up all the words and bring them back only for their use. The Spirits Collective remembered the lies, the curses, the gossip. Nevertheless, they did not want to take back the words. They loved the songs and poetry. They giggled at the jokes and cried during the prayers. We must hear the end of the stories the humans are telling, the Spirits Collective pleaded. And it was so. Humans were allowed to keep the gift of words for the sake of stories.